This video is about how the way you balance helps refine your artistry. We need to balance when there's contrast. Most contrasting elements can be thought of as chaos and order, or even feminine and masculine. Both are required to create great art. You need the structure of art form to encapsulate the expression and the imagination. It's putting order to chaos. There are 3 steps to becoming a big balanced boy. First, gotta explore the full range of possibilities. Then, we need to find the context so that we can choose the correct balance for the situation. And after that, we can use preference to convey musical taste and add personality and character into our music. We need a period of time dedicated to finding yourself. Well, kind of. To exploration of the full range. We need to test the extremes. Stay in the extreme long enough to become truly familiar with it, so you know what the thing does. You're probably wondering, what the heck is an extreme? 100%, baby. Look at that. This depth is deep. Without any reference to the extremes, it's not easy to gauge what balance really is, because you might have explored half of one extreme and then not much of the other one. So you think balance is in the middle of that, but in the grand scheme of things is not a balanced approach. An example of this in music could be testing a new guitar pedal or plugin. So I've got my guitar set up running through the Boss TR2 tremolo pedal. This tremolo pedal has 3 knobs. I'm going to be referring to knobs a lot in this video, so if you feel uncomfortable, subscribe. One is the depth, one is the wave, and one is the rate. So if I'm wanting to learn how to balance this pedal, how to balance the tremolo effect, I have to learn what each knob does specifically. And in order to do that, I need to test the extremes of the knobs. It's really important with modulation effects or reverb, delay, that you find the knob that allows you to hear the effect the most. Then find the knobs that you connect with and play with them. Play with those knobs. So the knob on the tremolo pedal, the TR2, is the depth knob. On some pedals, the depth knob might look like a mix knob. If I didn't know what this pedal did, I wouldn't be sure what I'm looking out for exactly. So it's important that I turn the depth knob all the way up. So now that we can hear exactly what this pedal's effect is, it's this warbling. So we're going to keep the depth knob up so that we can explore the extremes of the other knobs. So I'm going to first explore the extremes of the rate knob. As I turn the rate knob down, the speed of the wobbles gets way slower, and I can really hear that because the depth knob is up. I'm going to turn it up now. Let's hear what the wave knob does. Towards the square wave, it becomes more quick, more drastic. On, off, on, off, on, off. When we turn it the other way, it smooths it out a little bit. In music, the correct balance is always contextual. That just means that the balance of one thing is based on its role in relationship to the other things that are happening at the exact same time. So asking ourselves what the role is of any musical element can help us discover the context or create the context. And you should always be adapting and changing the balance based on what's required at any one time. In a mix, for example, the main focus instrument should be louder than the rest of the instruments. This is usually the vocal. And so in this context, it's balanced correctly, because its purpose is to be louder. If the context is a pop song, the role of the vocal is the melody and lyrics. The goal would be for the lyrics and meaning to be conveyed. This matters a lot because some instruments are there purely to support the main focus instrument. The correct balance for a support instrument might be lower in volume, unless that support instrument takes on a lead role. Then the context of that instrument has changed, and it requires recalibration and rebalance. I can find a balance that I like for the context that I'm going to use it in. So I'm going to keep the depth knob up, and I'm going to find the wave that I like first. So I like that wave. Now I'm going to make the rate kind of match this. So I've found the rate that I like and the wave that I like. Now I can lower the depth. And I'm going to turn the depth 100% of the way down. I'm then going to gradually turn it up until I hear it. So I can hear it pretty well there. But now I'm going to just turn it down a little bit. The effect is complementing the music taste. So through discovering the full range and testing the extremes, then deciding on the role and the context for our musical parts, we now have the awareness and ability to exercise our taste and our preference when choosing our balance, and therefore more artistic freedom and the ability to be adaptable. Your preference is not often chosen. It's usually felt or discovered based on sounds that resonate with you. To find the correct balance requires testing, experimenting and testing to find your own preference, not someone else's. That seeking of balance in your life helps you find the preference that creates your character and your personality. Then ultimately leads to you discovering your artistic voice. Our preferences are constantly changing because change is the only constant. So we need to be constantly adjusting our balance to reflect changes. Changes in the context and your own changing tastes based on what sounds resonate with you at any one point. This takes diligence to not be too systematic and ordered in your approach, i.e. doing the same things, and not be so chaotic that you can't stick with one thing for long enough. It's balance.